Good morning, guys. Welcome back to our channel. We are on Mackinac Island today in Michigan, where we're going to take a horse carriage tour around the island to see if it's the best way to see the island. If you don't know anything about Mackinac Island, there are no cars here on the island at all, so you have to get around by foot, by horse, or by bike. So let's go see if an island tour via horse is the best way to see it. We started our day in Mackinac City, where we headed to the Sheplers ferry dock to take us over to Mackinac Island. You can actually purchase your tickets at the dock or online ahead of time, and adult ticket prices are $39 per person for a round trip, with the cheapest parking option being $15. Once arriving on the island, we were immediately greeted by what the locals like to say, the smell of horse poop and fudge. One of the first carriages we saw was this gorgeous Grand Hotel carriage. I'm assuming it's waiting to pick up hotel guests, and it was being pulled by two beautiful horses named Woody and Buzz. Now, with there being no cars on the island, packages are delivered via horse on these flat carriages called drays. The drays operate as the local equivalent of semi-trucks and delivery vans to transport everything from Amazon packages, groceries, and even building supplies. We made our way over to the Mackinac Island carriage tour ticket booth to grab our tickets for today's tour. There are 3 different ticket options that you can purchase. The first being the Mackinac package, which includes the carriage tour that takes you around to all of the sites, but also includes admission to 2 museums and the butterfly room. The second option being the combination package, which includes the tour and butterfly room. And the last option being the traditional carriage tour, which just includes the tour itself at $46 a person and lasts about an hour and 45 minutes. This is the one that Wesley and I opted for. So we got in line to purchase our tickets, and we had about a 15-minute wait before our carriage arrived. The tour is narrated by the driver, so I'm going to let her talk a little bit so you can learn some about the horses and the island.
All right, beautiful. Yeah, our horses today, these big beautiful butts right in front of us. On the left we have Charlie. Can I get a hey, Charlie?
Hey, Charlie!
Awesome. On the right we have Ree. Can I get a hey, Ree?
Hey, Ree!
Awesome. You guys know how much horses love their hay. Yeah, we need enough to last. Now, we have these 2 horses in front of us are Percheron horses. You can tell because they're very beautiful white, a little bit of a dapple gray going on. Now, Dow's Market is the country's oldest family-owned market. Now, there's a Dow's Pub on Main Street as well, and our mayor is one Miss Margaret Dowd. They're a pretty prominent family on the island. They've been here for many generations. Now, coming up on this right-hand side, we are at the American Fur Co. retail store, which now acts as our Dr. William Beaumont Museum. Now on this right-hand side, we do have our United States Post Office. Very unique in the way that it never has and never will deliver a single piece of mail. All of our residents actually have their own P.O. box. Now the Grand Hotel was built in 1887, originally with 180 rooms. We've since expanded to about 400.
Now, the Grand Hotel was built in 1887 and is known for having the world's longest front porch, being 660 feet long. It was also cool to learn that the Grand Hotel was built in only 93 days due to no existing labor laws at the time and the fact that they had a workforce of 600 laborers.
Theoretically, we could put about 3 more carriages on the back of this one and they'd be able to pull it. Now, that being said, nobody wants to work 100% of the time, so we just try to maintain our horses as best as we can by just kind of letting them take as many breaks. We usually do 3 breaks on this hill, as it is a very long hill. I have to walk up it every morning. So we just finished the first half of our tour, which was a 2-horse drawn carriage, as you saw, and the second half is going to be more terrain, I think, so we're going to switch to a 3-horse drawn carriage. But you're able to stop and look at the butterfly conservatory if you purchase that section of the ticket, but there actually is a free thing you can do, which is right over here. So according to our guide on our tour, she told us that the owner of the horse-drawn carriage tour company, this is his personal collection of older horse carriages, and he has them on display for everybody to see.
For free.
For free, yeah. Wow, he really has a lot. This one's really cute. It has a headlight. Did you see? Yeah, the lamps on these, it's pretty cool. Oh, that one's gorgeous too.
1870. It's the oldest one.
Wow.
After taking a few minutes to look at the collection of carriages, we made our way to get back in line for the second half of the tour. We did wait about 20 minutes or so, though, for more people to arrive to fill up the carriage. I did say earlier that I thought that the second half of the tour was being pulled by 3 horses due to the terrain, but it's actually due to the size of the carriage itself. So we boarded the carriage, and it was actually really nice that they offered blankets because it was very cold this day in the middle of May.
I do.
Hi, Duke.
In the middle, we got Washington. Can everybody say hi, Washington?
Hi, Washington.
On the right-hand side, we got Eddie. Can everybody say hi, Eddie?
Hi, Eddie.
Our guide introduced us to the horses and explained why their tails are cropped. So these horses actually came from the Amish who had cropped their tails to prevent injury while working. Now, if you know anything about horses, you know that they use their tails to swat away flies, which is why our guide says he keeps a bottle of fly spray on him at all times.
Coming up over here on the left-hand side, we got the U.S. Post Cemetery of Fort Mackinac. There's 108 graves in total inside of there. Only about 45% of those graves actually have the names of the soldiers listed out. That's why that American flag flies at half-staff at all times for those unknown soldiers. You'll find the burial ground to Edward Biddle behind the black fence in the corner back there. While he did not serve in the military, he was the island's first sheriff and our first makeshift mayor.
Once we reached the Milliken Nature Center, we were able to get off the carriage for a few minutes to visit the most popular photo spot on the island, Arch Rock. There's also an overlook area where you can look out onto Lake Huron, and Wesley and I were actually really shocked to see a cruise ship in port. We had no idea cruise ships came into the Great Lakes at all. I grabbed a quick photo with our horses, tried to get Wesley to get closer, but
I'm afraid of horses.
that concludes our horse carriage tour. We ended at Michigan's Governor's Summer Residence, which has this beautiful view of the lake, and then we made our way back down to the main downtown area.
We just finished up the tour. It was about 2 hours on the nose, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, I feel like the commentary for both sections of the tour was really good. They told us a lot about the history of Mackinac Island, a lot about the horses, a lot about the care for the horses, and I highly recommend it.
It was split between the state park and then the city, so it was, like the first half was
Downtown.
background information though and history of the city, and then the second half was background information and history for the state park. So that was cool, and then we've actually now been to both the first and the second national park that the United States has had.
Yeah, so the first national park was Yellowstone, and the second was here on Mackinac Island.
It's no longer
Yeah,
a national park, but it was the second.
Yeah, it's no longer a national park.
No,
it's now just a state park. Yeah, but it's just cool to be able to have done both of those.
On our way back downtown, we stopped into the Mackinac Island Visitor Center to check that out.
Oh. It's a lot warmer in here for sure.
Of course, when you're on Mackinac Island, you have to get fudge. We stopped into the original fudge shop here on the island, Murdoch's, where we bought a few different flavors. All of it was absolutely delicious. We also learned that Mackinac Island's humid climate and cool lake breeze actually creates the perfect environment for cooling the fudge on the marble slabs. After our tour and walking around for a bit, we definitely worked up an appetite. We decided to stop into Great Turtle Brewery and Distillery for lunch.
Thank you. And they have a Great Lakes smoked whitefish dip that looks really good, so we're gonna get that as an appetizer. And I don't think we've decided on our mains yet. The whitefish dip has arrived. It's got capers and onions on top. It looks so good.
The whitefish dip was excellent, especially with Cholula. I got the short rib grilled cheese. Wesley got the walleye sandwich with onion rings.
just finished up lunch at the Great Turtle Brewing Company or something along those lines. But yeah, it was pretty good. You know, it was tourist town food, but it wasn't as bad as other places we've been. Walleye was pretty good, nothing crazy. And then the short rib grilled cheese, it was good, but it really needed like a horseradish sauce or
A gravy of some
or
sort.
something. But otherwise, I mean, the flavor was good. Really good service. Pretty cool place. They had obviously a lot of beers. They're a brewing company, local. But, you know, about 8 out of 10.
Now we're walking all the way down like the main strip of the shopping area, and it looks like there's this little beach over here. So let me show you.
Well, you're not allowed to swim. It says positively no swimming. Dangerous currents. There's a tender from the cruise ship coming in.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know they did cruises.
I
on
didn't
this.
know either that. I had no idea.
Viking.
Yeah. We are cruise people. We usually take a cruise about once a year. And honestly, like most of the cruises we take all the cruises we take are in the Caribbean. We are doing our European cruise later this summer. But I had no idea that cruises came up to Mackinac Island.
It gets enough people anyway, though. I can't imagine maybe in the middle of summer they're also dropping off cruise passengers.
Yeah.
After walking around the beach, we decided to hop into Joann's for some truffles, as if the fudge we already got wasn't enough. And I'll be honest, these weren't our favorite.
I think that concludes our day here on Mackinac Island. We did our horse tour, we walked around some, went to the beach, got some fudge, got some truffles, and heading back to the ferry now.
Got our tickets.
All right, going to Mackinac City.
Yep.
Straight ahead, take a little left up the train.
Thank you much.
Once we were back on the mainland, we hopped on the shuttle to take us back to our car.
Hi. Which lot are we? A.
Welcome back. Sorry, I
Thank you.
don't think you saw you.
That's okay. I wasn't sure which way we were.
Followed the rules. We're not used to people doing that.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, we were going to film our outro and little debrief outside, but unfortunately it started raining, as I'm sure you can tell. But overall, I really enjoyed our time on Mackinac Island today. We were only there for a few hours. The weather is obviously not ideal. I wish we would have came to the UP later on in the season. However, I do know it gets really, really busy. So it's kind of like a give and take. Either go when it's cold or go whenever it's super busy. But I really liked the horse tour. I think that was the highlight of my day. I think it was worth the money. We saw a lot, and I really do think it's like the best way to see the island. I mean, I know you can obviously do it by foot, but you're limited to that. You can also see it by bike. I'm personally not the biggest biker, so doing a horse tour was my ideal way to see Mackinac Island.
They are very anti-e-bike as well.
Yeah.
They're trying to pass legislation to actually get those like outlawed on the island because they've been causing fires, and Guy gave us a whole bunch of information. If it made it in the video, you've already heard it, but if not, the island would like burn down in like a day. Scientists have done studies to show that like if
He said like 48 hours or something like that.
but if a fire actually like got out of hand, like the entire island would be gone. So they're very anti-e-bike. Otherwise, we'd probably be more interested, but we understand and, you know, don't have to have that. But yeah, the carriage tour was good. Love when guides, you know, give you good information and, you know, you get to actually enjoy what you did. But overall, Mackinac Island's pretty good. It is touristy, but that's to be expected. But, you know, otherwise, I can see why people go there. And like Brooke said, I'm sure in the summer, you know, it's probably great to be able to jump into the lake because they said the maximum water temperature is only like 68 degrees, even in the heat of summer. So that would definitely be good. But yeah, Mackinac Island, definitely better than Mackinac City.
Yeah, I haven't really loved Mackinac City, so we're staying about 10 minutes outside of Mackinac City, and it just didn't impress me. I definitely liked Mackinac Island a lot better. However, Mackinac Island for me is like kind of like a one-day thing. I don't foresee myself coming back and staying on Mackinac Island or coming back and staying for multiple days or a week. I think it would make a really good location for like a bachelorette trip or something like that. I think that would be really fun and really cute. Definitely a picturesque place to visit. But I don't know if I'll go back anytime soon, but I really did enjoy my time. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for sticking around and watching. If this is your first video that you're seeing of us, my name is Brooke and this is my husband Wesley, and for the past almost a year, we've been filming our travels and all of our adventures and fun things we do. So feel free to like this video and subscribe if you want to see more from us. We do have a big European cruise coming up in August, so super excited to film that and upload it for you guys to see. But thanks for watching and have a good day.